We are live. Sure, it's just everything. Background. I got a background. My stuff on the seat. I want to see how the Wi-Fi gonna run too. Hey everybody, finna see my sound. So y'all might. Oh, I forgot the headphones. Oh, it's right here. We do have the headphones right here. So I feel bad for that. Let's see right quick before I do this. Y'all probably can't even hear me. It's 11. A lot of people probably sleep, which is good because we get to troubleshoot a lot of stuff right now. And we should be good. Let me test. That's not right. Something's not right. A few seconds. Something's not right. Audio, microphone. Should have tested this. Oh, I know what it is. It's the how does this sound? How does this sound? How does this sound? Not echoing. One time. I don't know. I probably can't even hear myself. Say something else. What did you say? I can hear you. Testing, testing, testing. How do we sound right now? How do we sound right now? First 5 minutes. Can you hear me? Hear me, G? What's up, G? How you up? And we're going. I got G in the chat, which is love, but I want to make sure the audio. Hmm. Make sure the audio is good. I know I'm probably lagging. The TV is on. Let's see. Okay. I want to make sure you can hear me, G. As you can see, I'm in a different place right now. So I guess we'll go into G. Tells me what's wrong. As long as you can hear me pretty good, I am comfortable with that. Okay, perfect. Um, so saw something today I thought you would like and not like. What was that, G? Share it with me. While while I will do my disclaimer. Yep, audio is good. You really clear too. Wow. Love. Thank you. 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 All right, guys, I'm gonna put my glasses on because I am. It's bright. Okay. These are migraine glasses, and I have a slight migraine right now, but we will go. We will go on. Disclaimer. Thank you. A very special person ordered it for me, bought it for me. A very special person, dear to me. A YouTuber urgently firing most recent videos. A YouTuber urgently firing most recent videos. What? Elaborate. I'm gonna have to look that up. Let me find my this one. Huh? Let me see. Let me do my what a disclaimer. This is interesting. Now you gotta make me get my disclaimer. Oh, that's the YouTube channel. Okay. Disclaimer. Let me show you all this. I got it on the other screen. Silly me. Silly me. We don't want G to screenshot us. Disclaimer: the videos presented here are for informational purposes only, and therefore, if you are to choose to attend the institution, please do your own research and consult with a specialist at the institution you are interested in. I am not a financial aid specialist, academic advisor, or representing any institution. Speaking on behalf of Creator, Henry is only speaking from his experience. Let's close that out. Okay, perfect. Oh, okay. So G said initial reaction. You may not like it, and obviously you may not agree with some things, but I think you guys are means to the same end. Interesting. Urgently firing is the YouTube channel. Watch it for yourself. Or now, I suppose, I think it complicates things, which is a good thing. He's a hard data type of person. Let's see. I'm finna go to the video now. I want to see this. You know, I'm all for reactions well, let me fill you in. So the reason I am live streaming late, G and Alice Marie, is because I just came off the road doing some military makeup dates. Thank you to my chief of staff, for the ones out there who know who that is. So I had to come down to my duty location a little early, and it was like a 4-hour drive. 4-hour drive. And am I tired? Maybe, but not crazy tired. Just more of like it threw me all off schedule. I was expecting it. Your boy just had to pack the equipment and organize, make sure you didn't leave anything. The bright side of things, though, a lot of people might get upset. We don't have schoolwork to do. Did you at least eat? Yes, I ate Olive Garden with one of my airmen. We had some Olive Garden, and then we split the bill because it was a lot cheaper to split the bill. We both ordered about the same pricing, so that was lovely. Yes, Alice Marie. No, there is not a student debt crisis. Oh, is that the video? G. Let me show G. Is this the video, G? We can watch a little bit. We can watch like 2 minutes of it. No, I'm not being deployed. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I'm going to show G this. I had a couple of topics, but I think this is going to be interesting. Let me move this over here. Is this the video, G? This one? Because I'm going to be honest. I'm going to watch the first 2 minutes of it, and then I'm just going to go from there, and then I'm going to watch the rest of it because he's in my lane. He's definitely in my lane. This got to be the video. All right, let's watch it. Let's watch 2 minutes of it. We go with these YouTubers who know nothing about higher education. Here we go. All right. The other one from 10 days ago is interesting too. All right, let's see what he talks about. Did I click the sound? I think I did. Did I? Let me just do this. I feel like I forgot to do something. Let me see. Yeah, I didn't do that. So y'all wasn't gonna hear anything. I'm gonna be honest with you. G said he used to work in higher education actual. Let me see his degree. I want to see his degrees. I want to see what schools he worked at. Where's his LinkedIn? Where is his official credentials, as we like to say? Okay, before I start, the hair though. Cool hairdo. All right, let's start.
Federal Reserve's SCF report on household wealth. According to the Federal Reserve's SCF report on household wealth, the median student debt in the US is right around $22,000, making up 1/3 of the debt that the average American carries alongside their auto loan, mortgage, HELOC, and credit cards. However, student loans do not follow the same rules as those other debts. If you buy a $100,000 car at 5% APR with no money down, then your monthly car payment is going to be $1,650. Period. And if you cannot pay, then the car goes away. But student loans are not managed like loans. They're managed like taxes. And this is something that a lot of people don't realize. On a traditional IDR repayment plan, your monthly student loan payments are capped at around 10% of your discretionary income. But in exchange for your student loans being treated like a marginal tax on your discretionary income, they can never go away. Until you pay them off, get them forgiven, or die, you are stuck with them even if you go through bankruptcy. So it's a double-edged sword. On the one hand, you're taking out a debt that you're entirely on the hook for. But on the other hand, it's an extremely manageable debt that directly correlates to a ton of positive social, financial, and lifestyle outcomes. Now, before we get into that, I do need to quickly add that IDR plans are getting replaced by something called RAP on July 1st, 2026. It's basically the same thing, just with slightly longer terms, meaning that you do pay a little more in interest over the long term. Personally, I would not stress all of these changes to student loans that Trump is doing, that news outlets try to fearmonger about, because, in my opinion, almost nothing is changing from how student loans were made.
I'm going to give him one more minute, because I have a lot to say.
Managed before. At best, this is just a politician trying to pretend that they're doing something while secretly doing nothing, which at worst is nothing more than a psychological fear tactic to try to scare even more Americans out of getting an education, which is something that you should 100% ignore if you want the United States to keep being a first world country. But before we get into who benefits from you not getting an education, I want to point you to a very interesting statistical anomaly that comes with student loans that does not apply to many other debts, which is that the more student debt somebody has, ironically, the more likely they are to be able to pay it off. Not only that, but the more likely they are to own a home, the more likely they are to get married, the more likely they are to retire wealthy, and they live longer. Because those are the
Okay. I'm gonna have to do some research on him for sure. For sure. All right. I love the title idea though. I love it. No, there is no student debt crisis. Great title. It got me like, what? Yes, it is. And I click on the video and he talks actually about some things. So I see what G talking about. He is very hard on data. He's a numbers person. Let's run it back, Turbo. So honestly, the beginning of the video, I'm just looking at the highlights of it from, he got timestamps on here. So student loans are easy to, don't know exactly what it says, but I guess to replace. But in the beginning, the word I want to say and start with, what's that word? I'm going to play it real quick for myself. He says student loans do not follow the same rules as other debts. Either way, I don't know what he's talking about in the beginning. I guess that's what I want to say. In the beginning, it was getting better as the video progresses. It was getting better and interesting. G said, watch at your own pace later. Yeah, but I got to comment a little bit on it and I will finish it. I would definitely watch it probably 2 or 3 times tomorrow because I'll have a little more free time. And so in the beginning, I don't know what he's talking about. Student loans is very hurtful to a lot of people. I know personally, for example. I know a lot of people, as I like to tell the story about Fred. Fred came home, probably not because of student loans, but simply because he was misinformed about higher education. And that ultimately led Fred to, go into the military and ultimately leaving us in a car crash. That's one of my tattoos. He was a childhood friend who played baseball with me. And so, or probably that way. And so, I get what he's saying, but student loans are they're very real, and this is just a raw, like I said, didn't watch his full video. So if he comes for me for some reason, tell him we can talk. That's what we're supposed to do. Supposed to talk things out, not go on social media and I guess attack each other. That's not very nice of people to do. So let's go to that next timestamp real quick, and I'm gonna see what G said. G said, if you finish it, I think you'll get a fuller picture. Right, for sure. And then G said, well, in the beginning, he's saying student debt is fundamentally treated differently. It is. It is very much treated differently. And he was hitting on the points. It won't go away till you die. Yes, or deceased. That's the proper word. And then in the second timestamp, when he enters like a minute 32-ish, it says, what is that timestamp called? Upcoming. I want to see the full word because he said upcoming changes. Upcoming changes are not going to do anything. That's a little. I don't think that's true. The upcoming changes are about to hit a lot of people, actually, because we actually talked about it in when the one big beautiful bill happened. I think those changes, anything that changes in higher ed, like for example, when they did the for example, I'm tripping on my own cord while I'm talking. It's hilarious. I'll send down. So when they did the one big beautiful bill, when they signed it and passed it in law, immediately right now, it's hard. Like when I was at Georgia Tech, I saw it firsthand, really. I saw it at the school I'm at now, but definitely at Georgia Tech, I saw it because a lot of students are international. And a lot of students who are coming from different countries to come to college here, as we spoke about, they cannot come to school here in the United States, at least for that time being, right? We remember talking about that. And then I remember something along the lines, don't quote me on that, and that some of that some of that stuff got dropped for certain schools where they can let international students come. But think about the majority of schools. And so it's not, some of this stuff is part of the institutional theory heavily. And so that it might not be higher education bill, but it would be a bill that's, about international students. And so international students, it's tough. It's tough to say. International students who want to use like their financial aid, for example, they cannot use financial aid because they're not a citizen yet, or they haven't done certain documentation processes. And so I remember one student, is when I first started at my new job. They were like, the process is taking longer, not blaming anybody. Honestly, I felt this was going to happen. It just happened a lot sooner when the person won, the new chief of staff came into office. It just happened sooner. And so students can't get access to their financial aid. That's experience. That's not a bill. That's not policy. That's just from experience. And so it's probably many other students right now, because everybody's of course, there's a lot of people who do not want to come to America, right? Who does not want to come to America. Everybody says everything about America, but who does not want to come to America? People come here to leave their home country. So yeah, that's just, of course, me just talking. And then G said, like the one about nursing graduate degrees being capped. Yeah, I actually was gonna talk about this today because my girl, I don't know if she's still up, but she sent it to me because she brought it up to me, but I was in school finishing up my paper at the time and I didn't cover. So G, do you know anything about, I'm gonna pull it up anyway once I talk about his last timestamp, and then of course I will watch it later. I would really watch it so we can talk about it. Well, tomorrow's Wednesday, so we can really talk about it Thursday. His video is very good. It seems pretty good, and I actually want to do a background check on him to see if how long he worked in higher ed. Did he go to school for it? What department he worked in? Because I'm a strong believer you shouldn't talk about like financial aid or things of that nature unless you work in that department. Because first things first in this career field, things change like the wind. So as we talked before, background check, yeah, we got to run a background check because yeah, we might have I like to say executive level. We might have an executive level law, but at the end of the day, it's up to the state, of course, as we talk about, and it's up to the institution of that school as well. Although I still don't agree with that point. What point, G? What point? What point you talk about? But it's always up to the school. You know, it's up to the school, it's up to the state. There's so many variables, right? And he's talking about financial aid. I hope he worked in financial aid because, you know, yeah. So it gets a little better as I was listening to him talk. Now, I felt like he was going to say, like, right here, he pulled up another piece of data. And then I'm definitely going to do a background check on him before this live screen is over. G, talk about your point, LOL. But I'm definitely gonna do a background check because he put up another piece of data that I think he was finna get. Like, that's why I see what G was talking about as it kept going. Like he said, they try to scare you out of going to college. That line was beautiful. Like, you probably see me nod my head on that part. That was beautiful because they are trying to scare you from going to college. And then he pulled up because he's showing Elon Musk. So I guess I feel like it. I haven't finished it yet. So remember what I said, screenshot it. Not screenshot, screen record me and be like, you said this, da, 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 da. And I'll be like, I had a different perspective then. I was going generally off the beginning of the video. But he said he was showing Elon Musk. So I feel like I tell people, if you don't go to college and you do a trade, you're just going to help people like Elon, Jeff Bezos, and them. They're just going to use you, honestly, until they don't need you no more. You know, AI already, they laid off a lot of employees, various companies, right? I was just using them, the billionaires, as an examples. But it's not even billionaires, it's multimillionaires, it's millionaires, it's not even millionaires, it's people who run companies. They use you until they don't need you no more. One thing about education, me and my girlfriend actually was talking about it. One thing about education, the reason why I felt so confident in getting my master's in higher education that most people probably don't see, because most people get caught up in the salary, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a year. Cool. But a consistent salary, I take consistency over everything. I can go anywhere in the United States and outside the United States with my higher education experience and degree. I don't have to work in just America. You know, like, I can go work in a higher ed institution in different countries. Now I have to learn the other countries' laws and learn their higher education systems and, you know, but I'm already experienced. That's the beauty of having an education that most people overlook. And you can do that with a trade. Maybe, you know, like, I know for sure if you're doing air conditioning, you can do air conditioning in different countries, right? You don't have to stay in one country to do air conditioning. You can do welding in other countries, right? But education is just, you know, it's education. You know, it's just like saying basketball is better than football. It's like one of those. Education is just better than everything. So G said, I think you will be pleasantly surprised at how much you guys actually agree. He just has a bit more nuance. There go that word, nuance. I just asked my girl about that word, nuance. I just asked her about that word. I was like, what does it mean? My professor used to comment on my papers and be like, this nuance, but I was like, what is he talking about? Why didn't he just say the other part? But I feel like I'm a definitely. I wish, dang, G, you should have sent it to me on LinkedIn. Should have sent this video to me on LinkedIn so I came in talking about it a little more. But he said the student debt paradox. That's another timestamp that I, of course, watched in the video. We watched in the video, reacted to it. He said the smaller your loan, the more likely you are to default. The smaller your loan, the more you are to default. That's interesting. Smaller your loan, the more I don't know. Just don't get student loans. That's what he lost me in the beginning. I immediately wanted to just click off the video because I'm like, yo, you're talking as if I'm going to get student loans. I want to come to a channel like Speaking on Behalf, and we talking about how I can avoid or evade it. Like student loans, man, I don't even know what it is. I had to email Georgia State today because they didn't send my grades to the military to finalize my degree for the military so I can possibly get some more rank. I need another stripe. And so G said, if you watch it more, you understand why he says that. I will, G. I most definitely will, brother. I definitely will. I will definitely be watching it more. I'll watch it as soon as we got this live screen. If it wasn't for I wish he did real good. He did it in 9 minutes, which is very impressive. I understand that's why it's so heavy data. Because if he was doing theoretical like me and all that, I need more than 9 minutes. Because he's pulling up a lot of data. But remember, guys, data does not, I repeat, data does not. Data is completely different from real life. And I don't go by data because I beat every metric in there about student loan debt. Right? Like you can put me in a category, but the path we took to do what we did, there's no data on that. That's why as me, G, Alice Marie, and the ones who was with us from the beginning, that's why we talk about that. Because if I sit here and give you data, right, all the time, you're going to be like, I don't know, it's kind of going to make you feel like it's not possible. That's how I would feel if I kept hearing data about this. And just, I think it's funny enough making the same point in the opposite direction. LOL. Yeah, because it is like I just can't look at data. Like that was one of my biggest things when I was in grad school. I was like, yo, why would I keep looking at the data? And this is why we're in this situation. Like, obviously, if you tell me to go to a university fresh out of high school, this is me doing what I do. If you tell me to start at a 4-year out of high school, yeah, I'm just increasing my chances of going into student loan debt. And then now, like he said, you're playing into the system. In the beginning, he said, you can't. Well, I don't know if he said you can't get married, but pretty much I say the same thing. Like once you go into student loan debt, you can't get married, you can't get a car, you can't start a family, you can't do any of these things because you're in student loan debt. And then if you're in student loan debt and you do these things, it's going to be a lot harder. I can't hit the camera. Let me zoom it in real quick. I don't got no fancy person behind the camera. It's going to be a lot harder for you. So, stay away from student loans, man. As I keep telling you all, to relate to you all on this channel. No, G, I did not misunderstood him. I'm not disagreeing with him. I'm not disagreeing. I'm not agreeing with him right now. I'm generally just going off what I saw in the beginning. I don't know him. I need the background. I told you I got to background check him. I got to watch his video fully multiple times, take some notes. So when I come back, I can actually go to certain timestamps of what I like. So don't I definitely nah. No, he did not say that. No, everything he's talking about, I'm really just stating my opinion. I'm stating my opinion. Me and G are going at it today. G, you must be on 10 right now. You must have some energy drinks. Yo, I think the Wi-Fi is better. His comments are even coming in faster. That's interesting. He actually said the opposite, as a matter of fact. You listen to the words that's coming out of my mouth, G. You gonna have these people in this hotel wondering who I'm talking to. They go, who you talking to? Talk to the person online. So G said, he actually said the opposite, as a matter of fact. Listen, I don't. Well, he said the opposite. I'm gonna play it back, and then I'm gonna come back and say, okay, I did say this, I did say that. Now you know I'm that type of person, G. They think you crazy, lol. They who think I'm crazy, G? Who thinks I'm crazy? I am crazy. You have to be crazy to want to say. You do have to be crazy to want to save money in college and not pay a penny. You do. I am a little crazy. I am a little crazy. I am a little crazy. Yes. To pick schools I can't afford. Your hotel mates. Oh, yeah, they're gonna think I'm really crazy. I'm scared for house cleaning to come in here. Not trying to change the subject, but I'm scared for house cleaning to come in here. They're gonna say, "Wow, he has a podcast setup." It's not a podcast. It's a media outlet about higher education. Media outlet. Yeah, I can't wait to watch it though. I just wish I could have watched it fully. But he might actually can take my video down if I watch it fully without his consent, actually. And so geez, I pay nothing. So I think that's yeah. I just want to reinform that like you're not gonna find data on students, you know. Or it is some data. Let me take that back. It is some data. It is some data about students choosing colleges because of the affordability. But the affordability was hilarious to me when I was researching in school. Like students would say, yeah, the school was like, no exaggeration, it was like 20 grand a year. So I went to a school that was 10 grand a year. Now that's a bit difference, but I was like, but they still went into student loan debt, you see. And so research was interesting. And I feel like I pull up research when necessary, not just for the like my guy here. I'm gonna call him urgently. My boy urgently, man, because we're gonna definitely look him up. We're going to look him up. Matter of fact, we're gonna look him up now while G is on here. Because I don't know what time zone G on, but G was in here as soon as I started live streaming. Funny enough, his data is on 90% of reported loans. Okay. So I'm about to look him up right now while we on here urgently. Urgently firing is hilarious. Maybe I should start a YouTube channel, call myself urgently hiring, since he's urgently firing. I should start that. Jesus, I was actually about to call it a day. It's wild. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Put that over there. Adding this. All right. This is not his It's account. Let me see something right quick. I was just gonna say that. Does he have a LinkedIn? Let's see. What's his LinkedIn? What's his real name? That's the real question. Let me see. Is this him? His YouTube bio? Let me see. His YouTube bio, G? Oh, I see it. Perfect. I was just about to run it. Let me see. He is an economic commentator, Salt Lake City, Utah. Let me see. Oh, he got a resume on here as well. He was an executive board member. I'll zoom that in. I can't even zoom in there right now. Lucky. Before I even look at that, let me go look down here. All right. So he went to college. All right. So, okay. I think he went to George Mason University. Okay. So he went to George Mason University. I don't know if he got his associate's degree at George Mason University. That's what it looks like. It says associate's coursework. But if he got his associates at George Mason University, guys, never get your associate's degree at a university. Unless the price is about the same. If the credit hour is accurate to the 2-year, if the university and the 2-year college have similar credit hours, okay. But never get your associates at a university. But he went to George Mason. He went to the University of Nevada. I heard people call it Nevada sometimes for some reason, but Nevada. And then Utah State University. He studied history. He got a master's in history, emphasis in economics. That explains all his economics. American intelligence, diplomacy. I know diplomatic. I was about to say diplomatic. It's diplomacy, if I said it right. I don't think I said it right still. Hold on. Me and my pronunciation. Spelled it wrong too again. No, I need the pronunciation. Diplomacy. Oh, I was going in the right direction. Oops. I was going in the right direction. Actually, no, you stay up. And then he got his bachelor's. I don't know why it's like that. So he got his bachelor's from Utah State University in religious studies. I noticed that a lot of people who do go into higher ed, they for some reason get a degree in religious studies. That is a common pattern I'm starting to notice. Okay, now his work. All right, see, he got some education. Okay. He did work at University of Nevada. Okay, he worked at the University of Nevada first. He had a job. He was a job market analyst, research job market industry in Japan, teaching and research fellow, economic history. He was a career readiness grant coordinator for, I think that's a K through 12, yeah, high school. That was for a school district. Then he worked at Utah State University. He was a career specialist. What was he on? Coaching workshops. He was an instructor, interim employee relations manager, then executive board member, consulted Utah politicians, business leaders, and okay. All right, I see why. I see. So, okay, I see his view. I understand his view, but I'm gonna watch the full video. Don't worry, G. I'm gonna watch the full video. But so he has a very like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm giving just based off his LinkedIn education and experience. He has a very like, I'm feeling political, of course, economics, business mindset. Um, and I'm not doubting him. He could know something about higher ed, but he didn't work in the higher ed like student affairs section. He was maybe the closest one I can give him is an instructor of career literacy. And so, and this is me just really being, I guess you could say I'm being a hard A, because guys, career services, like, at least from what I know, is plenty of people who work in higher ed, but they don't know nothing about higher education. But they worked in a higher ed institution. And so he did the career part. He got my students after they either were graduating, getting close to graduate, or in the beginning when they trying to figure out who they are. And it's nothing against him, but he doesn't even, he ain't about to outdo me, because this is me. It's me against him. But we could team up one day. But right now, I'm an underdog. He a big dog. He got 47,000 subscribers. I got 50,000 subscribers. There's a difference. And so, I'm just playing. But and he literally says it, independent economic commentator specializing in job market. So what he should have did, he should have hit me up. G said, I agree with the point you're making, but still don't agree with the other point. I know the other point, G. You just won't let that other point slide. But what he should have did, he should have hit me up before he made the higher education video. Because then I could have drifted his view. But I'm gonna definitely get back to him though. I'm gonna get back to him on that. And not hey, he just need to reach out to me, or I can reach out to him. Maybe I'll comment on his because he makes all these other videos as we see, and I'm all for collaboration, But he makes some heavy stuff. He be working. He is working. I appreciate that, G. For me, G, I'm higher ed, baby. And I'm higher ed. This is me. These are my stumping grounds, as we like to say. You want a piece of me? You want a piece of the champ? You want a piece of the champ? Oh, Alice Marie said, what is the other point? The other point G is talking about is G is talking about the point I was making when I watched the first 3 minutes of his video. And G wants me to watch the full video on my own time. And I told G, I will watch it. I'm just stating my opinion based off the beginning. But I did feel, as I told G, as the video progressed, he was leaning more and more toward what I do be mentioning. I felt it coming. I felt it. I saw it. It was the key words coming in. Yeah. And so, but I was just running a background check. I had to make sure he went to college. I should have known. I should give more credit to G. G don't watch people usually who are not on their P's and Q's. So I should have known a little better. G said, well, the other point is more fundamental between me and Henry, but I love him the same. Yeah, G just love giving me a hard time. Like, G want to challenge me and see. I think G be testing me to see if I'm going to be confident and stand on what I believe. I think that's what G want to see. G is a shark. Guys, G runs like 100 businesses. G runs 100 businesses and does all this other stuff, but still makes time to watch us live at, for example, it's almost 12 a.m. my time. Hey, shout out to everybody in here. If you are on another time zone, shout out to you, because it's almost 12 a.m. where we at. I have to wake up in the morning. But this was school. Hey, this what life in school prepped us for. We always stay up late and wake up at like 5 or 4 in the morning. It's nothing new. She said, I think that's why I like you. Yeah, got to stand on what you believe. Even when you're wrong, you got to stand on it sometimes, because, oof. And then even if I don't completely agree with you, yeah. See, we're making the world better, G. All right, so this is the article that was sent to me. I probably won't do a college review tonight. I'm not gonna lie, I am tired. I am very tired, but I'm fighting. I'm mentally here. I mean, don't stand on and when you know you're wrong now. AG, when I play sports, I had to be like that. I had to be like that. Like when I was playing ball in school, or even when I played the gym sometimes, but players giving me a hard time playing basketball, this how competitive I am. If they giving me a hard time, I start grabbing your gym shorts. I start talking. If I know you. But if I don't know you, I ain't gonna say nothing. People crazy. But if we playing like in an organized game, I talk. Even when I know I'm wrong, they can hit about 10 shots in a row. But what mess with a person, man, you know them 10 shots were lucky, right? You can't even shoot that far back. LOL, you was cheap, LOL. Man, yeah, I did not play a fair game at all. Like, imagine playing against all-star players. Like, come on, man. You gotta use the mind, the psychology. I feel like I got a knot on my head when I did that. My head must be swollen. So students pursuing these 11 degrees will be eligible to take out up to 200,000 in federal loans under new borrowing limits. Now, we talked about this in the summer, but for some reason it's getting a little popular. And then the 11 degrees. So I got into an argument with my girl. Well, I didn't get to argument with my girlfriend. It was more of like, why is my degree not considered a professional degree? I really want the list. I feel like the list is on Department of Education. Have I taken the time to look for it? I did not. I did not take the time to look for it yet. I did not find that list yet. And so let's see. So right now they're saying President Donald Trump and his administration will begin imposing new limits for federal student loans dispersed on July 1st, 2026. Obviously, the other guy that G recommended, the video we just watched a little bit, of, guys, as a collective group, he started mentioning these things. Now, we was talking about this back in like June or July. We're just not, I'm grateful for my 180,000 subscribers, though. That's all I'm gonna say. Because y'all was here listening to me. And so, like I said, a lot of things are gonna come in 2026. There are gonna be some changes. And if you are in college, or if you're in college, you should probably pay attention. You should probably pay attention. If you are a parent, you should probably listen. And if you are a staff in Muskogee County, oh Lord, if you are a teacher or staff in a school district, you definitely should listen. Everybody should listen. It doesn't hurt. Undergraduate borrowers will have the same current limit of up to $7,500 a year for dependent students. So $7,500 a year is like I tell students, if you know you're going to borrow, if you want to borrow $7,500 a year, you need to divide that by 2. Don't borrow $7,500 for the year and your tuition is $14,000 for a semester or $7,500 for a semester. Let's use common sense. They always do that. You have to split that by 2. Why is that important? Because I used to think I was getting that per semester. Even though I see a year, I'm 18, guys. I'm 19 with no higher ed experience at the time, really. I'm thinking I'm getting that per semester, even though it says a year. So depending on the class year, but the graduate and professional students will see new limits of up to $20,500 per year, $100,000 total. Now, some people say that's not enough money to go to college, and I'm wondering what the heck college you went to. As I said before, I think it cost me 20 grand or less. I think it cost me 20 grand or less to get my bachelor's degree. Shoot, should have went to a bigger school if I known. If I know everything I know now, I probably would have went to a bigger school. But I won't be here doing this. We would not have no speaking on behalf. I wouldn't be knowing G through YouTube or Alice Marie. So I'm glad the way everything happened, the way it did. Wouldn't change nothing. Every decision I made, I remember saying no. I remember saying no to my dad about going to play JUCO basketball. I remember saying no. It feels good to have control over your life. It's a great feeling because I'm not in a race with nobody else. I'm in a race with myself. And that's the best feeling, man. Like, I don't have to worry about earning playing time from no coach. That was very stressful. That's why I think I'd be so relaxed now, because I determine when I'm ready or when I'm not ready, or just jump out there if I think I'm ready. And yeah, guys, it's just having control of your life is amazing. It's an amazing feeling. You don't have to be, you probably hear it. Like I say all the time, I'm not a millionaire. I would, I still have a car note. I still have a what's that? I split rent with my partner. So I'm not, I don't know. I'm not some extravagant Instagram influencer or nothing. I'm just a normal person on a live screen, like literally, who did this consistently. And it was tough. I actually want to talk about this actually real quick, because that made me think about it. This right here just made me think about all that stuff, like the money, going to school. Like when I first transitioned to the Atlanta area for graduate school, because I wanted to make more connections, and I did. I made some good connections. And so got to meet my professor in person, got to meet all my professors in person because we had an event. I got to meet some colleagues and made some new friends, some new brothers and sisters. So it was worth it. But in that process, when I transitioned, my car, Project Baby, that's what I call it now, Project Baby, my car, because it was like a project car, went out on me. When I was driving to work at Georgia Tech one day, it was cold. It was cold, and typical car problems. I was on the side of the highway, cold. And like, I got it fixed because you got to have an emergency fund. The point is, I was having car breakdowns like all the time. I couldn't, like, I wanted to cash out on the car, but with inflation, that's why I always preach to you guys about, like, get a financial advisor or learn how to invest in a S&P index, while you're in college, and what it could be by the time you get out. If you want to take the stock game to another level, or real estate, really stock, because that's what I did, stocks, you should do that. But it was really hard. Like, I had a lot of bloopers in there, like typical stuff, like transitioning from moving from apartment to apartment, staying with my mom for 6 months after I graduated from my university. The beautiful part about it, though, I didn't have no student loans. So that 6 months, I wasn't working. I just wasn't working. That was my problem. I just wasn't working. And so I was like, I always thought, like, I couldn't imagine nobody who got the bad end or the worst end of the stick, where they did owe money and it started coming fast. But Biden and them had y'all straight, because y'all didn't have to pay nothing until Trump got back in office. So yeah, man, I'm completely normal. I just like to reinstate that. but I have control over everything. Is at this point, it's just more like running faster for me. Just run faster now, a little faster. I think if we was running cross country, I think I just hit my 0.50. Not even a mile yet. I think I just hit 0.50 because everything is I don't want to say marathon. That's completely different, but this is a cross country run. This is a trail we're on. It takes time, and you do it right. Like Drake say, it ain't about who did it first. It's about who did it right. Preach. See, man, I got all. Hey, Drake. And we gonna get Drake on this channel. We're gonna get Drake on this channel because I want to know if Drake went to college. Drake said he had 6 credits left. My mama had the saddest day, and I need to know because if he went to college, where he went to college. So that's gonna be interesting when we get Drake on here. So for graduate students, and so right here they're saying that, let me backtrack. It said, but for graduate and professional students, we'll see new limits of up to 20,500 per year. That's meaning 100,000 total. And just to make sure, let me do some math real quick. Let's make sure let me see how many years they factored in. They said 20,000. Should be. They're anticipating you to graduate like in 5-ish years. They round that out to 100,000. I saw something about Drake in a RICO case. Lord Jesus, please tell me it's not true, Alice Marie. Please tell me it's not true. These dudes, what's up with these dudes in these RICO cases, man? Oh, somebody help these people. I don't know what's up with these. Okay. So 20,500 per year, 100,000 in total for graduate studies, and 50,000 a year, $200,000. $200,000 total for professional programs. Now, my thing is, what is a professional program? You know, like that was my question. What's considered professional? Where is the list? Where is the list? That's what I want to know. So as we keep going, we got a little list right here, it seems like, but let's keep going. Graduate plus loans, which previously allowed students to borrow up to their total cost of attendance, will be eliminated. Graduate plus loans, which previously allowed students to borrow up to their total cost of attendance, will be eliminated. Now, a lot of students will disagree with me on this. A lot of parents will disagree with me on this. A lot of staff and instructors will disagree with me on this. A lot of people would disagree on me with this. I think this was a good thing, but I understand how it's going to be not accessible to everybody else who is in school or trying to go to school, right? And so, yeah. Because if you went to a school, right? Let's say you went to a school and you didn't get any resources. You didn't get any money to go to school for grad school. This is for graduate school. Go away. This is for graduate school right here. If your law school, because they said graduate, they didn't specify, so they didn't take anything out. If your graduate law school, PhD, because my professor said you didn't shout out PhD program. I always mention PhD program. But if you go to law school, PhD, med school, you can just borrow the money up for your total cost of attendance. Don't look back. Now, we think about all the videos, right, of people who just borrowed the money and they say, I didn't know how much it was going to cost. I didn't know about the interest. I didn't know about this and that. And like, you go into a career field, man. It's at this point, it's not even about you borrowing the money. It's about that you borrowed it, but you didn't think about the return on investment, and now you can't pay it back. Then you blame politicians, then you blame the school, then you blame, because I work in there. So then you're going to blame me or somebody who I work with because you didn't understand the full spectrum. It's not fair. But I agree. I think this should be taken away. Graduate plus loans, I think they should be taken away. I don't loan. We have $1 trillion in loans. Like if you was going to pay $500,000 for a total cost of attendance to go somewhere, man, put that in the stock market. Don't even pay the school. Like you spent $500,000. Man, I got a master's degree, but if you spent $500,000 on a college, you deserve the student loans. You could have put that in the market. And I don't want to hear the excuses because I'm from poverty. G from poverty, if I'm not mistaken. We got some people from different backgrounds, but I always say from my experience, like poverty, like they say we got the most excuses. So I always got to sound for poverty. I opened a book and learned some things. I opened up a laptop and I researched some things. And it was just, we just have more information, guys. I always think about like back then, how would things be if I tried? You know, you got to remember what skin I am. So I just think about that a lot. And so it's no excuse today. I'm a strong believer in that. But if you want to have excuses, there's a YouTube channel for that. It's probably called Excuses. Everyday excuses that you need to know. There's probably a video on that. So you should go watch that. If you want to learn how to make an excuse for everything and the reasons, you should go in that. You should be a part of that community. I'm a strong believer though. You can, like, I feel like I came from the negatives, but you can definitely come from zero to something. Now, according to the proposed regulation, a professional degree signifies both completion of the academic requirements for beginning practice in a given profession and a level of professional skill beyond that normally required for a bachelor's degree. What did I just read? According to the proposed regulation, a professional degree signifies both completion of the academic requirements for beginning practice in a given profession and a level of professional skill beyond that normally required for a bachelor's degree. That is literally my career field. That is literally my career field. That is literally my bachelor's. I mean, the higher ed, that's literally my career field. I have a professional degree. That's why I was so confused with this list and what's going on. Whew, got me rubbing my mustache, man. So the Department of Education has named 11 degrees that meet the requirements to be considered professional and thus eligible for higher loan limits under new rules. Please be on this list. I don't think we're on this list. I don't see us on this list. Pharmacy. All right. America needs there. Healthcare is it's crazy. Dentistry, doctorate. Man, get out of here, man. We need it, though. We need it. I leave them alone. I guess people need their animals, man. Veterinarian? Bro, how much it... All right, somebody in the chat help me out. Somebody in the chat help me out right quick. Do you have to go to veterinarian school? I think you have to go to veterinarian school. You need vets. Don't do that. I'm not anti-veterinarians, but yo, veterinarian school must be expensive. For veterinarian to be number 3 on the list, they put them above lawyers. Chiropractor. I think that's chiropractor, right? Like chiropractic. That's like chiropractor, right? Like people who do Yeah. Yeah. Not you. Yeah. So even they're expensive. I remember one school I was trying to apply to. It's a very popular program. It was at a private school. The school was called Life University. Shout out to them. I had a real good interview with them. They actually keep a door open for me. Yeah, they love me in the interview. They keep a door open for me. And so cracking your back, man. That school was expensive. Like not the school, but the program for that was pretty expensive. Like that's their like if you want to come to our school, we are known for chiropractors. We produce the best chiropractors. And I didn't know chiropractors make that much money. Did not know that. Didn't know that. Must have got popular to be top 5. Yo, this shows you. I'm gonna just leave that alone. I'm not even gonna go down a rabbit hole. I had to let G do that, but all I'm saying is, for lawyers to be 5 and not 1 says a lot. That's all I'm gonna leave it at. We know about MD medicine. Yeah, I've never been to one. I always been nervous. Yeah, it's not what you think. It's not what you think. It's I can't speak for chiropractors, but massages, they don't feel good. They hurt. If you really doing it for like to get better, so you can keep exercising and stuff, they're meant to feel like you're getting better. Anything that feels like you're getting better hurts. But don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. That's just my experience. You should try it for yourself. So, orthopedic medicine. Oop, I'm showing you that I'm not in the medical field. I'm showing you why I did not do medical. What is this? Is this another medical form of medicine? They put theology up here? Bro, I'm hot. I am hot. Theology made the list. Theology. Okay, it's a form of medicine. You see how we learning stuff just by Googling? I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's a form of it's a medical specialty focused on diagnosing and treating conditions of the foot, ankle, and lower leg. The pronunciation. Hey, I tried. Like when I see the pod, I can think of like iPod, and then they lost me there. It's like I would think like since you got pediatrician, I would think podetary. I would think that's how you say it, podetary. But yeah. So then theology, the fact that theology is on here. But I get it though. They saying like these are what you can get. No, you need to take medical. I'm not taking no medical terminology. I'm not. I'll tell you this, guys. When we get more people in the when we get more people on the live screen, y'all can quiz me. Y'all can quiz me on medical terms. That'd be like one of the things we do every live screen. We can do that now, actually. And I try to pronounce that word, that medical word, so that helps me get better with my medical pronunciations. Because I tell you now, whoo. Okay, this is a good one. Should have been like up there. Clinical psychology definitely is very needed nowadays, especially with the growth of social media. I might end with that. I might end talking about this. So, clinical psychology is very needed. I do feel like with the growth of social media and the way people scroll and can't tell the difference, because a lot of people think, AI is a job replacing, but AI is really like, AI is going to be in a website, things we know, guys, but just for people out there, AI is going to be website, AI is going to be music, AI is going to be everything. And it goes back to like, of course, psychology, which I'm not psychology, but you're just going to need these people because people don't want to get off their phones. Like if you tell somebody to delete social media off of their phone, and when I say social media, that includes LinkedIn, That includes YouTube. I don't count YouTube. I count YouTube as more as TV. So I give people a pass on that because you're only gonna get fed the same things. Like YouTube is really good with that, but you're gonna have to you ask them to delete Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. If they don't they will look at you like you crazy. Oh, I can't do that. I need that. You make money off of it? Nah. They'll be honest. Nah. But I need it. Why you need it? What that sound like? What that sound like? I need it. Nah, I can't stop. I need it. What that sound like, y'all? What does that sound like? An addiction. An addiction. And I'm gonna say it here. I'm not that cold-blooded, but I'll be honest. I can't say I won't do it. I think you should invest in some social media rehabilitation clinics. I think people should do that. I think people should invest in. I really think that would be the next unknown market. I probably just dropped a gem. I think that's gonna be a big gem. What G at? I need G to be like, yeah. But I need I got Alice Marie right now. She ain't here right now, but that's a big really. I think I heard some people say it's already out there, but cleansing because social media is gonna fade. It's gonna fade. It's gonna fade. It's gonna get to the point where I think you think about the Rockefellers, you think how they had the railroads. You just look at history. Mark Zuckerberg and them, whoever do social media and all that, they're gonna pivot from social media to something else. I don't know what it's gonna be, but it's gonna be interesting. But it might be around forever. Who knows? But I think social media will fade. Especially if you listen to me or people like me out there who don't have the traditional social media. That's why I'm so heavy on LinkedIn, because I'd rather have an intelligent following community versus having a community of people who are only tapping into us because they see us. I'm so happy to have y'all, Alice Marie and G, because you all went to college. You all experienced college. You all are conquering something that you all are conquering something that a certain percentage of people can do. And I appreciate that because I don't have people to talk to about college. Most people don't feel good about their college. They went to college. They think it's I don't know. They think it's it was a mandatory thing. But stay on topic. I'm glad to have a community of people who went to college. Then it's gonna get to the point where we're gonna have some people in here who probably didn't go to college, saying they went to college. But at least right now, keeping the fan base, the community, whichever, we're keeping it organic. And so that's what matters. That's what matters at the end of the day. So to finish this out, they said that the addition of clinical psychology came out of the department's recent negotiated rulemaking session where stakeholders debated the loan limit rule and how it should be applied. I think some people, when you go for your doctoral, I don't really know much about clinical psychology, but if they have it on this list, that means it's very expensive. I know it's very expensive because MD is high. I always heard of MD, like med school, being expensive, law school being expensive. So to see these other ones up here says a lot. It says a lot. It says a lot. So it says professional organization. I didn't know we had that much more left. And remember, going to starting at a 2-year college, guys, this is another reason real quick because I probably won't read that to be honest with you. But you do see the website where I got it from CNBC. But to go back here, where is it? Before you go to what's a good example? I think a great example would be law school. The reason I do law school, guys, because I know somebody in law school, and this example is perfect because if I knew I wanted to go to law school, right, in the future, I knew I wanted to go to law school. I'm in high school. I plan on going to law school. I would get my associate's degree at a 2-year college. Now, you don't have to do this no specific way. You pick the best major you feel will prepare you for law school. I would get my associate's degree in probably criminal justice, something probably writing if I can. If not writing, paralegal, something that's gonna put me in the industry early. Cause then I can get a job working at the courthouse. I can sit in on cases. Then I can make good money in the meantime while I prepare to go to my university. Then I would stay off campus at my university and I would have my own apartment with some roommates. And then we talk about how hard college is and have a drink because everybody in college had drinks. Now, some of them take it overboard, but have a drink while typing up a paper. Then getting frustrated with the professor because they gave me a 79 for some reason when it should have been an 85 or 90. And then once you get that debt-free degree again, or a small amount of if you do incur loans, but once you get done with your bachelor's in whatever bachelor's degree you choose, now you can prepare for law school. But in that meantime, you've been working since you got your associates. You was able to get your associate's degree at 20 years old, if not sooner. So now you was in the workforce at like 19 or 20, saving up for law school. Not to mention you can have other resources besides your own money. And you might say, well, you don't know. People who are in that career field, for example, like doing anything government, because that's pretty much government related. You're government related or courthouse, state job. You're going to be state, which is government. You're government related from the time you stepping into something to the end. So that's like, man, that has so many avenues. You might want to, ain't no telling. You got so many like, associate's degree is powerful, man. We're gonna stop at 1:30, guys, which would end up being. I'll let you know, guys. I don't think you can see the timer, but associate's degree is so powerful. I was able to get so many jobs. I got more jobs, I guess, because they thought I wasn't gonna try to go work nowhere else. I got more job opportunities with my associates than I did with my bachelor's. I guess because I was more qualified. Somebody probably can explain that to me better. I got more job opportunities simply because I had an associate's degree. I won over jobs on people with an associate's degree. How I know? Because I asked the person who hired me, at the time, I asked them, I say, the other people had masters, bachelors. They was like, yeah. They was like, you probably was the only person with associates. Associate's degree and experience. You can't go wrong in this country, in the United States, you can't go wrong with that. That's like the cheat code. That's the cheat code. Associate's degree, investing, living below your means. You can't beat that. Saying no to subscriptions. Would you believe me, guys, if I said I have no subscriptions? I don't have no Amazon Prime. I don't have Netflix. All I watch is Tubi, Roku TV, and I think the most common one we all can agree on, YouTube. All the other ones I do not pay for. Either I know somebody or I don't got it. Like, there's only so many movies people put on. Like, these people don't even understand movies. Like, I'm just finishing like these 5 minutes at this point, just conversating. These people don't understand movies. Like, they put the same movie. Everybody pulling out the same movies. Why would I pay for something and it's all the same? It's just me. Now, I guess you're paying for convenience at this point, because if YouTube doesn't have it, but the other one has it, then yeah. But stay on topic, guys. Associate's degree is very powerful. I do feel like everybody should start at a 2-year once again. Start at 2-year. Make sure you stay off campus. Don't get a meal plan at that 2-year, because some 2-year colleges have meal plans. They have campus and dorms. And then you bridge to that university. But remember, you need to make sure in advance, before you even pick that 2-year, you need to make sure that 4-year has an agreement with your 2-year. Whichever 4-year you want to go to, make sure they have an agreement with that 2-year you will have to go to. It helps you out a lot. It helps with your transition more. Some schools won't take your credits, even though you went to an accredited 2-year. That's part of a system of that state. It just worked that way sometimes. Even though your governor most likely picked the board, it just don't work that way. Even though they picked the board for the 2-year and the 4-year, it just don't work that way. So it's a lot of questions and concerns, but it just don't work that way sometimes. It just don't work that way. And so 3 minutes. We got 3 minutes. I will definitely live stream Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then Friday, I have to make sure I don't stay too long on Friday, because I have to work this weekend, as I said before, guys, with the military. So I'm pulling a 7-day week, 7-day work. So working all the way up till Monday. So we're gonna have some fun the next few days. And I'm not gonna tell you no story. I might live stream tomorrow, because I might. No, I won't. No, I might. Because I'm not in crazy traffic. And then I gotta go to the gym tomorrow. I'm back going to the gym. I was gonna say, well, I might just have to come straight here. No, I gotta go to the gym. And the gym is on the base. So we might. If it depends how the opportunity presents itself. If we got time and we do it tomorrow, I don't see why not, right? I enjoyed this one. This was a good little quick live stream. Some good topics. And remember, real quick, you can always go finish this article. Guys. I did not make it to the bottom because I started talking, of course. There's more. I always want to mention that there's more at the end. I was more focused on these programs. And then it gets into more detail. But remember, I am a little tired. I'm not going to lie. I slacked on this one a little bit. But we still had some good conversations. And then Thursday will be a lot better. Make sure I go to bed on time and not have to drive 4 hours, 5 hours, hopefully. And then that is all. So peace, chicken grease, and I will see you all for sure Thursday. And then be safe and delete your social media.